Hey, Cherokee. That's the Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Stay there, hon. Stay there, honey. Stay there, please. Stay, hon. Stay. Stay, honey. Stay there. Stay there, please. Hey, take $1, will you? There, girl. And I'm right under this awning. It's raining like hell. Yeah, I like Dunkin' Donuts. It's my favorite coffee, actually, if I can get it. I get a bite at the, make it myself at home. Never seems the same. I do get Tim Hortons, but I like Dunkin' the best. How you doing over there in Canada? Hey, Spelling Bee, how you doing? What's taking so long for a coffee? Daisy can't figure out why she doesn't get a treat at this coffee shop. You get one later, hon. You get one later, hon. Good girl, though.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
It was brewing fresh.
It's okay. Have a good day.
Thank
It was brewing fresh. That's a good reason. Yeah, I'm glad we got some rain. Look, it must have really rained good last night after I fell asleep. I stayed up later than I normally do, but I see some of these turnarounds are flooded. Yeah, it's a good, I think Dunkin' Donuts is good coffee. It amazes me how places can get that same taste regularly, you know, because there is quite a bit to roasting coffee. And, you know, the beans you select and blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you one thing about coffee I learned the hard way. If you've ever had that blue Koana or something, that expensive coffee from Hawaii, you know, it's like $200 a pound or something like that. And then you'll go on Amazon, you'll look for it, and it's like people bought this, and it's like 85% cheaper. And you think, yeah, man, maybe I ought to give it a try. It tastes like shit. As I found out later, that's the coffee that, when they got there, the beans were on the ground already. They didn't pick them off the tree. Hey, Pat. So a lot of those Amazon deals are just like stuff that should have been discarded, or it's like second and third choice. It's the crappiest beans there are. It's not the real McCoy. If you ever had that Hawaiian coffee, though, that blue Koana, you'd really like it. You know, it's kind of like a treat. No, I don't mess around with any food things online anymore unless it was something canned or something, which I'd never order online. Especially like stuff like coffee and cheese. They do it with everything. Hey Tree, how you doing? I'm glad it's raining today, actually, man. It's been a barn burner here, and actually tomorrow's going to get worse. You know, I'm not a big fan of air conditioning. If I'd have known, though, we were going to get this summer, I'd have probably got this air conditioning fixed, because it hasn't worked for a couple of years. You know, this is an older van, and I don't really use it that much, you know. Traditionally, you get like a couple scorcher days in the end of August, and you put up with it, but now that I've suffered 2 years on a few hot days, I hate to get it now, you know what I mean? But yet this next week's going to be like 95, so I'll just lay low. That's why I leave Daisy at the hotel room when it's this hot out. So today she's with me because it's cool, but tomorrow's going to be 90, and then it's going to get worse. So what are you going to do, you know? Hey Pumpkin, how you doing? Oh yeah, scams on everything. There's scams even by legitimate places, you know? So there's an area, just checking out a couple new areas lately. I lived over near here for about 6 years. Actually, right over near that school. I bought that house in '86 for $55,000, and I needed to redo a lot of it, which I did do. I see now they're asking like $285. Talk about scams. This area around here, at least when I lived here, and I had been around here before, I grew up not far from here. This retail space used to go for big bucks. You know, it's a super highly traveled road, and now it's like one vacant building after another, and half of the ones that are still in business are for sale. Don't believe this bullshit about a thriving economy. As you guys know, I'm on the road all the time. There's tons of places all over that didn't even reopen, and that are on the verge of closing. And in a recreational vacation spot like where I live, they make all their money from June till the end of September, and they do okay a little earlier and a little later if we get a nice fall. But there's no way in hell anybody would ever agree to limiting their customers to 50%. And that's what they've had to do because of this new pandemic. So it's tough out there, man. I hate to say it, but I don't think you've seen anything yet. It's a bad economy out there. Hey, good Pun Pun. Hey, Weebies. Oh, thank you, Pun Pun. Yeah, I have a good time doing it, you know. I think I'm obsessed with doing it because I'm basically a lazy ass. But when I get down here, usually I'm up earlier, and it's 14 to 16-hour days just interviewing people if I can. I didn't interview anybody yesterday, the whole day, taking photos, and I have to force myself to go back to the motel to go to bed. I want to stay up all night doing it. It's crazy. It's just interesting to me. Hey, Danielle. Yeah, society has changed big time. I mean, particularly in an area like this that was used to for years, fantastic middle-class society. overtime, triple time, holiday pay, pay your college tuition if you wanted to go. Great benefits, no deductible, 3 weeks vacation off. Those days are over. It didn't last that long, really. From about the 50s up until the early 70s. Basically, I think about this a lot, and it's going to come down to just a different standard of living. That's really all it is. This idea of having new cars and a vacation home and a boat. All the kids go to college wherever they want. And the price of college now is like, unless it's something required for licensing, or you get a scholarship, to me, there's no way in hell I would have paid $100 grand for the rinky I got. But at the time, it was a big deal. I mean, there were 2-year police administration degrees, and they went to 4-year, and I got a 4-year. Barely got in and barely got out. And at the time, I mean, they were recruiting people with 4-year degrees in criminal justice. And I was like the worst student ever, and I still had all sorts of job opportunities. But it's not like that anymore. I don't even know what my degree cost, but I'll tell you, it didn't cost much. I dinked around for a junior college for a couple of years and then transferred, and it wasn't like that much more money. It was just a 4-year degree program. And it took me, I didn't graduate till I was 24, so I took a couple of years off. Dropped out a couple times. I wasn't exactly a good student. I mean, it sounds nuts, but I think I give myself credit for sticking it out in something I absolutely couldn't stand as compared to the all-A student that loved college. I think mine was harder. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yep, I agree with you. I mean, it's still the best country to live in, if you ask me. But you can't compare these standards to the old days. I mean, just look at retail now. And these malls are all stripped. The day of the shopping mall is over. Well, I think I'm going to sign out of here, you guys. It's kind of busy up here, and it's wet and rainy, and I'm almost to my destination. So you guys have a good day today. Hope you have a good day. And I'll be checking in with you periodically. I got a lot of videos to upload when I get home.